Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. The one, the only, Master Propaganda Heroes like Defender of the Fatherland, off into glorious 1v1 on Amilly Fields. In the north, it is Basset, fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin, here with the glorious 1st Guards Mechanized Corps with Armored Assault, Got Motor, which is immediately picked. Big surprise there with T-3035s, Hey Mortars, Guard Rifle Infantry, Vehicle Crew Repair Training, and Mark Vehicle in the south is Prabuty. Fighting for the Oberkommandist Germany, Deutschland. Here with the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision with Special Operations featuring Radio Silence, Sturmoffiziers, Infiltration Tactics, Infrared-Sturmgewehr 44 and the Befehlspanzerkampfwagen 5. Here's off to a full-screen Kuhwagen start versus double conscripts for Basset. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters, wonderful people on the road. Without them, the Propagandacast would not be possible. So a big hearty thanks to every single one of those. Other people can join the ranks by Patreon, or they can donate by PayPal. Links in the description. Or if you're considering pre-ordering Companies 3, consider doing so by the link in the comments. Use the code STUK3G on the site, and I get a part of the sale there. And finally, just feed the algorithms by subscribing, liking, sharing, pressing the bell button, all that jazz there. So they see activity, and that way, spread my video out further. Because, yeah, that's YouTube for you. So, triple conscript there for Basset. Heading westwards here with a frontal wings for the glory of the Red Army here, extending an aggressive socialist front here far north. Eastwards here, Prabuty was clearly hoping to have a bit more success in the west, but it is being denied here by Basset. His assault has slowed down, so he's going to have to hope things work out in the east on the field point there. Kuhwagen rapidly fixed up, though. One advantage, one reason you'll see the Sturmpionier Kuhwagen combo is because the Kuhwagen can draw the fire, take the damage, and then you repair it, meaning you're technically not really taking any significant damage. It really requires, for example, manpower to expend it on. So there you go, charging with the Kuhwagen, moving to frustrate here. Con's going to have to double back. We got more engineers there for Basset. We do, in fact, full retreat here. Great turnaround here from Prabuty in the end against Basset. In fact, Basset just ignores that. Probably figures that's not worth the effort and just sets elsewhere. Thumbs up there. And you're heading towards the eastern fuel point where, of course, we got Prabuty's full screen squad already. Second one out there as well. And yeah, he's just going to head eastwards there and ignore this particular combo, as it can be a bit difficult to deal with. Also, they're being slowly engaged with engineers coming up, going for the car point here as well. Going for a double incision there. Troops reinforcing there. Conscript engineers as the full screen is down to 4-man here. They still will be able to get to the point. But again, they won't be able to get anything out of it. Up north here, Kuhwagen engineers there. Almost got the western fuel point. We even got mines here from Mr. Prabuty. Western munitions point they're seized. And there go, full retreating, allowing the engineers to grab the fuel point and the surrounding point. And then moving towards the other car point. Smart play here by Basset. This is certainly powerful, which is why to an extent he just plays around it, like stalls it. He tries to make movement as car points, but always just ignores it and just hits where he can actually do more damage. Very smart play by Basset, and typically how you want to do it if you can. Obviously, not all maps are equally good for that, but again, I think it's, good element of Amilly Fields, which is why I think it is by far the best 1v1 map currently in the Coh2 map pool. So, thumbs up to the map maker there. Woof, if I remember correctly. Ground the some fuel point there, controlling up here. Controlling attack from soldiers at both sides here, with the full Grenadier truck out there for Prabuty. Being slowly whittled down here by Prabuty's full Grenadier. Moving up here with the truck, the Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier. Kuhwagen there being fixed up with the Sturmpionier again, thus again negating any damage. That is the insidiousness of the Kuhwagen Sturmpionier combo. Flamethrower team, of course, ready for Basset, but so far Prabuty's got a fairly good upper hand here now. He has broken through here to the fuel point, cut-off point in the north, but that's it. We have more troops in the off of Basset to put a stop to this. Catching the Sturmpionier, of course, there's a second car point we hit as well here. So a lot of action here between Prabuty and Basset here. Sturmpionier routed, Kuhwagen still renders the car point neutral there. In the south here, Fulton is still being delayed here by Basset's forces. Really managing a good turnaround here for Prabuty versus Basset. Now he has most of the map here against the Socialists. Kuhwagen being routed here. Support company there for Basset. Might be planning a Maxim or a field gun. Theoretically also a mortar, but Amilly Fields is not a map where you really want an early mortar unless your opponent somehow digs in really well at a certain point, which typically you shouldn't expect from the Oberkommando West, I think. Around western point, but that said, eventually a mortar could be an idea depending how the fight flows. Back here, Belgrade headquarters up there for Prabuty. Troops reinforcing healing. Might see a flak half-track here for him. And the Hammerngöring Fallschirmpanzerdivision, which was rather unique in that was actually the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe's Panzer Division. Yes, you heard that correctly. The German Air Force had a full-on Panzer Division, which was basically Hermann Göring's little vanity project. Initially starting out as a bodyguard unit, it would eventually develop into a flak unit, then full-on Panzer Grenadier unit before becoming a Panzer Division. And then finally, towards the end of the war, a full-on Panzer Corps with the 2nd Panzer Grenadier Division. So yeah. Certainly shows some things there. Grandly some fuel for the Volksgrenadiers as Basset is based the western one there. So it had certainly had a higher, so say, number of flak guns compared to like other Panzer divisions, but did like in other areas, for example, it didn't really have a lot of half-tracks for its troops, for example. So that is sort of an interesting element there. Kuban, they're going straight for this and Fuelpen with the counter. They're busy. Engaging there. Ward got 4 kills in the Kugelwagen there. Quick retreat here. Basset not going to stick around to figure out that one. Tank will be tank out there. Very likely an anti-aircraft tactic going to be rushed out to hit back at Prabuty because he's got his own flak half-track out here, the 251-17. Kuban going for the northern point again, pressuring near Basset and the Red Army. Could go for Carton and DP light machine guns, but if he's going to go for the anti-aircraft half-track, he's obviously not going to go for them there. We also got the Sturm Officer out here for Prabuty. Thumbs up. A nice, but I think somewhat overlooked unit in the Oberkommando's arsenal. One I think is actually quite good, especially with the high levels of veterans. He becomes incredibly powerful. Honestly. So we'll have to see here what exactly Prabuty does versus Basset with that. Meanwhile, though, he's leading quite aggressive as a flak half-track. Basset here going for a field gun. Goes still with a half-track, but it may also be, in fact, he's going to go for the T-7 instead then. Or he may just skip either. Hard to say with Basset, he's all the way in a pretty prickly position here as Prabuty just strikes from both sides here, leveraging his firepower as efficiently, as aggressively as possible here versus Basset and the Red Army. And the west side here, conscripts engineers with the Sturmpioniere. Flak half-track moving up with its 2cm flak gun. And there you go, Cis 3 Division field gun out for Basset and the Red Army. Will it be the half-track here from Basset? Will it be the T-70? Or will it be a move to Tier 3 here in the Mechanized Armor Company? That is the big question. We do get the half-track in the end. We do get the M5 half-track to be upgraded to the M17. Obviously, they're based on the carve point with his little Luger. I believe it is a Luger. Yep. After they're halfway down for Basset and the Red Army, going back to the carve point. Victory points wise, it's also a good lead here for Prabuty over Basset. That said, the half-track could give Prabuty a bit of a hard time here, particularly since Prabuty does lack any anti-tank assets. And of course, also the field gun here that can make things further complicated for the flak half-track itself. So there you go. Out can be upgraded to the M17. Which I imagine will happen anytime soon here for Basset. Unless he never intended to go for it, which would be a bit of a surprise. But there you go. M17 upgrade on the way there. Focuses in the center, going eastwards as well there. Good work. Basset definitely needs to break out here. The current stranglehold from Prabuty. Needs to advance swiftly for the glory of the Red Army and the Soviet peoples. Kugelwagen rushing forwards here through the open western fields. Sturm Officer down to 2 men. In fact, the Sturm Officer himself is not amongst those surviving. After rushing forwards, he almost got the M17 ready. Rakettenmeer over there for Prabuty in response to the half-track. And there you go, that is a very swift retreat here in the face of the M17. And its 450 caliber machine guns. And we got a maximum here for Basset and the Red Army to help further contain Prabuty's infantry. Field move on the Volksgrenadier is going to wreck their cover. Force Prabuty's Volksgrenadier to reposition here, and there you go. Second shot goes a bit over the mark, but certainly sends a signal here to Prabuty that he doesn't want his men to be in that area. Even the same postal code. Engineers right here by the Volksgrenadier. Going up the engineers now. Conscripts nearby, of course, can basically reinforce them, so they basically turn this, like in this case, roughly 12-man squad there, since you can just keep reinforcing there with the merge ability. Very powerful, but I would say somewhat overlooked ability there. Half-track arriving, got the Chemif nearby as well on top of the flak half-track, forcing the M17 then to engage from the battle there, unless of course he wishes to lose it, which I don't think Basset is particularly interested in. Ground Western Victory Point, he obviously is prioritising those over the fuel, though obviously for Basset getting some fuel going would also be very handy here versus Prabuty, in part just to deny Prabuty the ability to take out himself. Good hit on the flak half attack by the Sysgun, but there you go. Sturmoffizier spearheads an assault here, forcing Basset to disengage from the centre. His men unable to withstand the sheer power of the Third Reich. At least without more firepower themselves. And the half attack isn't done, needs some repairs. East side here we got the Maximus, the Fult's going to be by the Eastern Victory Point. Quickly suppressing the unit, but they do manage to get into heavy cover. Western assault continues here. Kubelwagen supporting the infantry, got the Kendra reserve as well here. East side here, the Fultz is losing Otto to the Maxim. Another Maxim here for Basset, so indicating his concern about the German infantry and the aggressiveness of Prabuty's tactics. Raketten shoots, this time misses though. The rocket flies off and just hits some grass. Sturmoffizier already with 7 kills by the way, moving up here on the west side. 7. Maxim still busy in the east against the Volksgrenadiers there, not making much progress. After being further pulled back here, 4 kills, half 8 of Etienne 2, 5 kills actually. Kill tally just keeps going up and up, but that said, he really needs to sum up these fuel pumps because Prabuty is just gaining a lot of fuel here. I mean, he can get over some medium armor pretty fast here versus Basset. At this rate. Which is definitely not in Bassett's best interest. I'm actually a bit surprised at the lack of any guardsmen here for Basset, as the DP light machine guns could help, of course, with all the Volksgrenadiers. Plus, they'll help a bit with the flak half attack as well there, so... Bit of a surprise here from Basset, though again I can also understand on the sheer amount of pressure he may not be quite thinking about what I'm thinking. Sturmpini routed, east side here, flak half disengaging. Once more, Basset is slowly pushing back Prabuty, and he's pulling back the flak half attack there to a slightly safer environment, so it doesn't get sniped by a field gun or anything else funny. Oh wait, double Maxims is going to make it harder here for Prabuty to wield his infantry freely. That's obviously not a bad investment there for Basset at all. Westward, spotting the mine, thumbs up. Like you're pushing for the eastern fuel point and victory point. Half tech field coming up here. Hasn't cleared out the mine. Guess he's a bit too preoccupied with other things. Going up the eastern fuel point, there we go. And the eastern victory point. You just need to retreat. Almost had the mine set off under them. That'd been quite painful there for Basset. Could have been a wipe there. Truck out there for Prabuty. That'll be the schwerer punted quarters. And then move towards medium armor. Grab the carve point there. Smart. Maxim setting up here. Backed up with the field gun. Though needs to be careful about the particular gap here. We'll have to rush the half again to maybe deal with that in, just in case. There you go. Sturmoffizier arrives on that particular flank and actually just widens it by forcing the maximum retreat here with a force retreat ability. Thumbs up there to Prabuty, making some fairly good use of the Sturmoffizier that way. 8 kills, veterans 1 already. 2. Once more, Basset is falling out a bit. And he actually goes for the heavy mortar first. I would expect the guard squad here, but the heavy mortar in the right hands can be quite potent. Probably is helping him push towards it. That Prabuty himself has the light infantry gun out now, so going for heavy mortar to counter that obviously makes sense. After on the eastern side, 5 kills there, close to actually 2, and there go. Fultgun's being met with a hailstorm of 50 cal fire here. On the west side in use is the Volksgrenadiere. Sturmoffizier here caught by the half attack. We got 11 kills on him so far. Sturmoffizier is doing excellent work for Prabuty. There you go, half to engage with the Ken. That's going to have to immediately retreat here. Heavy mortar calls at work now for Basset. 1 kill already here for the glory of the Red Army. Artillery firing down death here. East side here we got the maximum flank here, stopping Prabuty from advancing east that way. Though of course he could go for deeper flank here. The Ken with a routed due to the presence of the heavy mortar. Could bombard the light infantry gun. Hope to, well, basically wipe that out. In the west here, schwerer punted quarters with authorization way for Prabuty. In fact, he can go for a pretty fast Panzer IV. Certainly indicating how well he's been off in the early mid-game stage here of the game versus Basset. Basset, I would not be surprised, may have to go for another field gun before taking up for the mechanized armor company and some tanks. Got The Sturm Officer there routed, but the constant engineers here. Flak half-track repositioning, 7 kills. Veterans 1. Got the Sturm Officer 2. Great kill then, Prabuty. Kills a very solid unit. And Field Gun also gets great in the flak half-track. Prabuty's situation looking a bit less great here, though I think it still holds a lot of advantages versus Basset. In particular, since you can soon get out the Panther 4 Model J, and Basset is just nowhere near any tanks himself. That is a definite advantage for Prabuty, but still losing the Sturmoffizier does suck. It's all again, it was easily like his best performing infantry unit, so that does put a bit of dampener there on Prabuty. We do get the Panther 4 there, the Ausführung Yacht on Model J. Heading for the Sunfuel with the Maxim, though it did hit a mine, which he overlooked last time. Going for the Eastern Fuel Pump with the Volksgrenadiere. Prabuty does not slow down here. We got the Haymortar they're firing away here. 2 kills. Half 8 to Veteran 1. Half track being fixed up. 5 kills and Veteran 2. And there you go. Basset with a Mechanist Company. Well, have to see what he does. I mean, he could go for the T-34 from 6, but there's an upward commercial play with the advantage Prabuty has. Going for T-35s might be a better choice here because the T-35 has better penetration, but also just a lot more health. But still costing less than the Panther 4 Model J. And so can, I would say, fairly cost-efficiently beat it. In most situations, obviously, but the health really gives an advantage in these kind of Panther 4 matchups. So there you go. Panther 4 Model out there for Prabuty and the German army. Die Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision. Hell of a name for a division. Comes with the Volksgrenadier by the Eastern Victory Point. I'm going to find the conscripts. Close but not quite. Black half joining the fun here. 9 kills now, close to Veteran 2. Got the Panther going for a pretty deep move here by Prabuty. Was that intentional or not? I'm not entirely sure because he kind of moved so close it might have been given away there to Basset, which may have been intentional, but if not, that certainly could give Basset enough warning to set up a counter to the Panther 4 potential flank here. Another Sturmoffizier out for Prabuty. Thumbs up. Clearly a believer in the power of the Officer. Maxim flanked with the Panzerkampfwagen 4 did not react on that Panther 4 there, so either didn't see it or didn't notice it. Marked vehicle here, the Panther 4 trying, I think, to scare off Prabuty. Bit of a bluffy, honestly, because he's got nothing nearby, but Prabuty is not there to figure out if Basset has something next to, you know, open up with the Panther 4. He's just pulling it back, so kind of worked out there. Aircraft shot the skies there by the Tucson with a flak. Closely charging into the half-track. The Maxim there, that is just an absolute slaughter there for Prabuty's men. And they are quickly routed here by Basset and the Red Army. Well, Haymortar firing down here in Prabuty's position. He's got the Panther 4 Model J moving up the left flank here. 2 kills so far in the name of Deutschland. Moving on the Western Field with the Sturmoffizier. Shot fired, whiffed. Black half-track, rest of the anti-aircraft half-track, 6 kills, half 8 to Veteran 3. Panther 4 there, bit dinged up. Landfront trying to snuff out the Haymortar under Bassett's command. Western Fuel Punch East for the Sturmoffizier. Again, Basset risks falling a bit behind on fuel here versus Prabuty, but there you go. T-34-85 on the way here for Basset and the Red Army. That will certainly give Prabuty a bit of a tougher time. The Eastern one, large maneuver here from Prabuty to counter that. Right now we can see that Basset need to counter that counter. We'll have to see how successful he is though. Already here Prabuty is shoving his way right past the half-track, though is providing some covering fire, but nearby Kedmos could force the half-track to fall back. So hard to say if this is going to work out. Haymortar though does his best there. 5 kills on it so far. And the T-35 there's right around the corner and has arrived now. That will certainly give Prabuty a bit of a headache here. Nice hit by the Haymortar on the light infantry gun. 5 kills, Veteran 1. There we go. Wipes Prabuty's artillery piece there. Thumbs up there, very good. Then we got the Maximus of Sturmpionier. Panther taking a hit from the field gun right for the side armor there. T-Fed family got Mark Vehicle here. Basset wants that Panther 4 dead. And he'll achieve that goal no matter the cost. There you go. Almost got the Panther 4 sliver of health left here. Panther 4 just keeps on the missing or bouncing the T-35. Bounce there from the T-35 and it's 85 with a gun there. Panther 4 misses again. Another miss then. The Panther 4 does narrowly escape here. The Armored Fist of Stalin. And the T-35 that does suffer a fair amount of damage. Still gets a few kills as it disengages. Close to Veterans 1 already. Sturm officer there, quickly sent packing, and his squad suffers immediate losses there due to the T-35, which is very close to Veterans 1 now. After these started catching the flak half track, virtually free, but also almost kaput. Grand Western fuel point now. Fuel control continues to be in a great advantage here for Prabuty versus Basset. Could go for another Panther 4 soon, which would, I think, be a headache here for Basset. Self-repair is being enacted there by the T-35. Thumbs up. Schwerer Panther Corps remains very much undetected on the far left side of the map. Interesting position, which you typically don't see there, actually. Also, if it does get spotted and Basset decides to actually destroy it, it's going to be difficult for Prabuty to easily support and defend it. So it is not without its risks, but at the same time, its position is highly unorthodox, and that is probably helping it stay alive otherwise. Another push into the field to the east, straight into the half-track though, and it's waiting guns. Jürgen neatly ripped apart. Dietrich follows up after him, then into the afterlife, and there you go. Panther up at the contractors there. 6 kills, 7 kills, closing in the Veterans 1 rapidly. T-35, that's good to go here for Basset, and there you go. Field gun bounces off the Panther 4's armor there. Sturm officer leads the charge and then leads the retreat. T-35 moving up here for Basset. There we go, Sturmpionier suffers a loss here. Okay, mortar there, firing away, 10 kills already. Really doing some heavy lifting here for Basset. Do not underestimate the power of the heavy mortar. We got mines in the west here. Not a bad idea there for Basset at all. Prabuty could be going for the Panther 4, but looks like he is planning a Command Panther most likely. I mean, could theoretically be a Panther, but in most cases, people will go for the Command Panther because you get a marked target ability for that one, which increases the damage done. And the Panther effectively does a lot more damage, which actually makes the Command Panther kind of good. Like the regular Panther, which just doesn't do enough damage. T-35 there gaining 7 kills. Veterans 1 is right around the corner. Now Basset also has much better map control versus Prabuty. Stabilized, spectator points wise is also bleeding up Prabuty. But there you go. We got Prabuty with a Command Panther, the Befehlspanzerkampfwagen 5. Kiefer coming about here, got the eastern point there. Going for the western field with the Sturm officer. Another mine goes off, suffering further casualties there. Fulton's almost brought up with the T-35. We got Mark Beale there from the Panther, but we got Constant nearby, forcing the Panther back due to the threat of snares. Also, I don't think Prabuty bothered at all with the light infantry gun. Either salvaged, destroyed it, or Basset destroyed it. Katyusha here for Basset? I guess. I think with the heavy mortar, you're better off just going for another heavy mortar, just going for more armor, rather than going for Katyusha here, but that's just me. Not to say I think the Katyusha is a bad choice, I just think there are better choices in a sense. There you go, he cancels it. Right, he's just going, goes for double field guns to go for triple field gun? Maybe that was a bit exuberant. Move that bit eager, I don't know. Almost got the Panther 4 here though. Bold move there by Prabuty, but does look like it pays off and he avoids losing the Panther 4, but really risky and not a move I would recommend on average because you're more likely to lose the Panther 4 like that than actually get out. There we go. Panther flanking in here against Basset's front line here. Taking some damage, but is able to safely disengage. The lack of infantry support, though, means there's limits to what Prabuty can do there, but still, it does put some pressure there on Basset. Aircraft shot out of the skies. Helpful there for Prabuty, less so for Basset. Field gun out there for Basset and the Red Army. Half-track firing away. The Fulton suppressed here. Other squad suppressed as well. Prabuty holding back his armor. Flak half-track actually free at the ready. Just needs something to shoot at besides aircraft. And got the T-35. They're conducting self-repairs. Basset can go for another T-35 now. And there he goes for the Katyusha. Alright, guess he just wants more field guns up first before going for the Katyusha. Makes sense, honestly. And the center here, folks, make another push. We got 362 versus 280. Bit closer now. They're still with the lead to Prabuty over Basset and the Red Army. Panther need repairs. Panther 4 good to go. T-35 there is almost good to go in here for Basset as well. No, well, all these hands you can see on the side of the turret, the back of it, and also on the side of the tank is actually there for infantry to hold onto while riding along on the tank, because the Soviets did not have enough transport for the troops, and so they operated with the Descent Niggy doctrine, which basically meant troops were meant specifically to ride along on tanks. So, fun fact there. Being bombarded by the Panther 4. Maximum rating to the troops here. Panther 4 taking some nasty damage here from Basset and his field guns. Aircraft shot out of the skies again here with a flak half-track. Doing an excellent job here versus the Soviet Air Force. Clearly a good investment there for Prabuty and Deutschland. Katyusha at the ready to unleash a hailstorm of death there against Prabuty, who's losing more and more ground here to Basset, who is certainly remaining firmly dug in. His ace field gun being held back for reinforcements and healing is also a smart move there by Basset. You could imagine if just for some conscripts, some players do that. I'd say not a bad idea just to pull it back for reinforcements and healing instead. Colonel Rebel a good hit on the west side. We got the contrast of the Panther here backed up with the flak half-track. Immediate retreat here for Basset, as obviously his men are not particularly equipped for taking on that much firepower. Black half-track slowly approaching Destiny 4, increasing its accuracy and rate of fire, which is obviously really bad news for infantry. Panther translate the contours here. Grenade off. He's falling back. Come on, Panther versus conscripts. He's being hammered here and pushed back. German troops pushing forward here for Prabuty. There we go, Katyusha barrage straight into Prabuty's men, and that is an absolute massacre. Just huge losses there for Prabuty. Almost lost a total of 3 squads here. Massive hit. There's 7 kills just for the single Katyusha barrage. Thumbs up to Basset. He waited for the right time to strike, and he was presented to it by Prabuty on practically a silver platter. Amor still fighting with 11 kills, 52. Panther moving eastwards, straight into the field gun. He needs to be careful. He also got the T-35 nearby. Could cost here Prabuty. His Panther was not careful. Do get a combat blitz to help get it out of there. Good shot there into the rear by the field gun. Troops reinforcing healing, fixing up the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Basset would benefit from more armor, but at this point he's actually at more or less full pop cap, so he can't. Straight out punted quarters though, might be in the danger zone. There we go. Getting with the field gun, but actually gets caught here, spotted by it. And we got radio silence here for Prabuty going on the offensive as Basset charging in, actually exploring the fact that Basset counter-extended his units in the west, allowing Prabuty to actually launch an assault through it. Thumbs up to Prabuty there. Punishing Basset there for a bit of a tactical extension. That said, needs to keep up the momentum soon, or he risks losing the Panther here, for example. Panther going for the field gun here. Infantry pushing forwards here. There we go. Lost the command Panther. But he got one field gun, get the other field gun here. At least wipe them, we may grab one. That'd be pretty good here for Prabuty versus Basset. There we go. Heavy damage to the conscript. Then needs all taking losses here. Field gun out in the open. Almost got the other field gun here. If he can get rid of it again, it wouldn't quite be worth the loss of a Panther, obviously, but it would still overall be pretty good here for Prabuty, because the double field guns are by far the biggest threat here to Prabuty and his armor, due to, overall being tough to kill in the first place during an engagement, but also just, being quite good anti-tank guns. He did grab one of his own, which is also pretty good here for Prabuty. Now he has, well, an anti-tank gun. Yeah, he didn't get the other one, so not quite fully good, but at the same time, not terrible either. It's a bit of a wishy-washy situation. I mean, he made some gains and all that, but still losing the Panther like that is still kind of rubbish. But he did get a field gun and do some other damage here to Basset, so I don't know. Oh well. Got another T-55 here for Basset to find. It's going to be a problem there for Prabuty. Obviously, his Panther 4 there is in some deep shizer. Like to get knocked out here by Basset unless Prabuty has some absolutely insane luck here to the point where, yeah, he probably should be under investigation for insane luck by the Ministry of Luck. Anyways, there you go. That Panther 4 won't be making it back home for Bratwurst. Field gun shoots, misses, and there you go. Panther 4 Mollier is kaput. Definitely pushed that one a bit too far, and Basset exploited that and punished it beautifully. In east side, though, flak half-track strikes, 23 kills. So very close to actually 4, but still not there. Sturm there with 1 kill this time around. Reinforcing healing. Could start hitting up the eastern side of the map a bit more. T-Ford moving up here, going straight for the flak half-track here. Could punish Prabuty there for an extended flak half-track with no support. Almost guarded. Oh, actually, that shot sounded like it hit, but apparently didn't hit. That definitely hit, though. That hit. Got the flak half-track. Prabuty is now without armor at all. Lost his Command Panther and his Panther 4 here. In comparison, Basset, well, he actually loses T-45, which is pretty good for Prabuty, but still doesn't quite help make up for all the losses just suffered. Like, again, the Panther 4, and the flak half-track. So Prabuty is still in a pretty uncomfortable position versus Basset, but it is at least now a little less uncomfortable. Now the Panther 4 there for Prabuty. Troops setting out there for Deutschland. What's been caught here with the Maxims, including an Ace Maxim here. Order of the Red Banner and all that stuff there. Flying away here at Prabuty's full Grenadier. Cool one carrying the center. Panther 4 there slowly arriving. And salvaging it here for extra fuel. Smart there. Got 208 with 269. Fairly close in terms of victory points, but still small lead for Prabuty, but it's certainly a lead that is getting smaller and could soon be turned to lead for Basset if he's not careful. I imagine Basset's just going to go for more T-3485 here versus Prabuty's. Though he could arguably get away with a T-34 from 6 now. So perhaps he actually does that. Maximum continuing eastwards. Picks up the Schwerer Panzer Hauptquartier there after some damage suffered from Basset earlier. Go, quick shot there. Field gun firing at the Schwerer Panzer quarters. Nice hit on the Sturmpioneer by the T-35. We got the Panther forming up here. Field gun nearby. Down to half health. Radio signs again to hit from Prabuty. Pass one sensing here that Basset extended into the west side of the map here. Almost got the T-35. The field gun again extended easily. Can be rashed out by Prabuty. Got the T-35 as well here. Seems like Basset kind of repeated the same mistake he did last time. And obviously not saying he shouldn't be pushing towards the west, but the way he does it leaves him, you know, quite overextended and out of balance. Lying here, Prabuty then just quickly swing at him and quickly get some kills and destroyed units in there. So good work there by Prabuty, understanding when Basset makes a mistake and then quickly punishing it. Basset has also lost his remaining tank. He's going for another field gun, but this is actually a pretty golden opportunity now for Prabuty to maybe turn the game back in his favor here versus Basset. But can Prabuty actually do that versus Basset, or will Basset be able to like shut down his opportunity? There we go. Hell of a hit there, costing Basset one of his engineer squads. Panther 4 keeps it the assault here for Deutschland. Hey, Morton needs to get out of there. In the south, Maximus, the officer here. Could have popped a smoke grenade around the retreating, but oh well. Grab the western fuel point here with a field gun. And there you go. Another field gun out for Basset and the Red Army. Now Basset does have the victory point lead over Prabuty. Opposite down here for Prabuty, more elite infantry. Basset, by the way, has yet to go for any guardsmen, which is actually a bit noteworthy. You figured he'd be getting some of those out, but oh well. 9s here from Basset. Panther 4 moving towards the center. Need to get some fuel points back, though. Before Basset just starts churning out more T-35s. I mean, he's got the fuel for another one. Just needs a bit more manpower to work with. Panther moving up there. Field gun sitting up here. These quickly bypassed by the Panzer 4. Heavy mortar fire there, punishing here Prabuty's bunch of infantry quite easily. Good shot there, as Prabuty just kind of sort of stopped up from the field gun. But I figure he just wouldn't be able to bypass the field gun anyways without going too deep into Basset's territory and no way getting out. So taking the hit and just disengaging with the Panther 4 ends up being the smarter move there, I think. West side here we got the Oberstleutnant moving forwärts. Infrared Sturmgewehr's on the way. Now there's a rare sight. Panther being shot out here, being pushed back. Eastern fuel point, they almost seized by the Kuppelwagen, which is Veteran 3. Maxim being hammered here by the Panther 4 on the Obersoldaten. Infrared Sturmgewehr is almost done. Could become a problem there for Bassett's machine gun crew here. And already assaults a field gun there, but there you go. Heavy mortars round, lands on the Obersoldaten squad, takes out a fat chunk of men and health. That's going to force Prabuty to pull back that. And there you go. Panther 4 with the damaged engine definitely pushes luck too far. And now he may lose the Panther 4, which would be a huge coup for Basset, who has yet to go for any additional tanks again. Should definitely want to replace his lost tank soon here versus Prabuty. Almost got the Panther 4 there. Looks like he made his escape. Another Katyusha barrage here from Basset this time, though not quite making that splash that he may have hoped for here versus the Germans and the Far East Kuba coming up there. Veteran free still. Seizing points for the Reich. Opening up the fuel supply here for Prabuty once more. As is T-35, they're halfway done. Fult's going to be advancing. West side, there we got the fuel point here for Basset. Still a lot of ammunition flow there, could still, I think, go for some guardsmen, but at this rate, I imagine Basset's just going to keep churning out T-35s, at which point he should at least lay down some mines with his troops. That could do a lot there, I think, to mess with Prabuty. T-3 Sturmofficer base in the center. Up north here we got the Fult's going to give us the conscripts. T-3035 there has finally arrived here for Basset. Further push there. East side we come from Kuwang there in the center. North, Fult's going to base as well. Could lay down some sandbags maybe to help make that more defensible. That is just knee. Sturmofficer moving forwards. There you go. Quickly forcing retreat here on Basset in the center. North, Fult's is caught by the T-35 on the far west here. Panther 4 strikes at the conscripts by the western fuel point here. And there you go. Great hit. Almost reviving out the entire unit. Only one survivor now there as Sturmpion and machine guns on the Panther finish off the rest. And there you go. The Fult's squad here should be able to wipe out Basset's remaining conscript. There we go. Quite a wipe there. Down just 2 conscript squads now versus his opponent with a total of 6 infantry squads. One of which is the elite Obersoldaten, and there's also the Sturmofficer here. So definitely looking a bit more pressure for Basset on the infantry front, which could quickly translate into more decisive wins here for Prabuty versus Basset, unless Basset can do something to turn this around soon. Grab the center victory point, heading for the eastern fuel point. We got 248 versus 216. Counter-wing forward, straight to the field gun. Good shot there. Fult's being hammered here by the mortar. Also the T-35. The heavy mortar, by the way, is 17 kills, Veteran 3. Fairly solid investment there for Basset versus Prabuty. Another hit there. East side, if you got the Fult's on the flank of the field, but they're straight to the T-35. You also got the Katyusha barrage of I think. Just sounded like it. Swan, but oh well. We got 246 versus 216. Sturmofficer there routed by the T-3485. Closing in another one, by the way. And Prabuty could actually go for another Panther 4, though it's not unlikely he's going for a Command Panther again. Go, Fult's routed by the T-35. Basset can now go for another T-35, and there you go. That was a hell of a hit. 3 men dead from a single high explosive shell there. And there you go, Basset with an additional T-35, and Prabuty just goes more Panther 4s. Guess he's decided that the Panther 5 command tank is just not worth it. Even with the marked target ability, which does help versus tanks, it's less great versus infantry in the end. There we go, T-35 getting the Obersoldaten, quickly pushing them back. Move on in a bit of danger zone here. T-35 moving up. We got the field coming up here. Good work by Prabuty. Second T-35, almost done for Basset, would still benefit from some mines and some guardsmen 3P light machine guns. I mean, just something to do with all these munitions, because I don't think floating 300 munitions like that is particularly wildly efficient here for Basset. Some mines here could be a good idea. Flare mines there could also be a handy idea there, honestly. Of course, another advantage of this fair punt course on the western side is it does cut out the western victory point, so it becomes harder for Basset to gain like a triple cap on Prabuty and bleed him out faster here. And so far, it's not like Basset's like put a lot into trying to destroy it, except like those few amount of raids he got punished for in both cases, so I would not be surprised if he's just given up on doing that again. Penfold gaining better too, but there you go. T-35 should drop for the side armor. Engineers routed here. Other T-35 ready as Prabuty commits both tanks to the center. We got special operations, radio silence again here. Good shots on the Panther 4 here. Prabuty though keeps up the assault here for the glory of Deutschland. Troops being met here with heavy fire, and there you go. Katyusha rockets launching in death here on Prabuty's positions, but not hitting too much here. The anti-tank guns will get away unscathed, which is great for Prabuty, but certainly he's got to feel a bit like an awkward moment here for Basset. In fact, he's about to lose his veteran T-35 here to the sheer amount of guns here that Prabuty's brought to bear. And there you go, the T-35 explodes as the munitions are cooked off. Great kill here for Prabuty. Basset now being pushed back into his base here as Prabuty has more or less shattered Basset's front line here. Basset is down to just one squad of infantry, a pair of machine guns, a tank, Katyusha rocket launcher, hey, mortar and Guineas, whereas Prabuty has a mix of infantry, support weapons, tanks. No artillery. Still not looking great here for Basset. It is looking anything but great. Immortal looking to be a massive obstacle here for Prabuty's men, but that's about it. Maxim setting up against the Panther 4, but they do lack something that can actually damage the Panther 4's frontal armor. And the T-35 farm is not having much better luck here for Basset either. Filgan joining in here for Prabuty against the T-35. You've got the camera for there, and it's down to 2/3 of its health now here. Maximum cruises being ripped apart here by Prabuty. More casualties there. And another field gun for Basset, and more anti-tank weapon which to challenge Prabuty and the German army with. Comes there being absolutely demolished by the Panther Force, and the Fulton Company is nearby. Could be a white pin killing his remaining counter squad. Yup, now Basset has no infantry left. He's got engineers, he's got some Maxims, mortars, field guns, and armor, but he's got no infantry. That is huge here. Massive even. And really, I think leaves just Basset at the point where he can't really, you know, do much of anything here versus Prabuty. The situation is very much against him at this point. The odds are heavily stacked against him. Looks like he will still keep fighting here. He will still keep trying for the Red Army. We got the Panthers going straight to the max. Field guns nearby. T-Foot forming up. Field gun shoots. Punches through there. Falls with the T-Foot from the east. Mark Bill being unleashed against Prabuty. Will it matter? Probably not. We got the full squad close being wiped out by the T-Foot 35. Down to 2 men, 1 man, and a what? Tiny win for Basset, but he needs a lot more wins like that. He needs them fast, like have a chance. He's done just 150 versus Prabuty's 207. Cooper Wagner cheating match 4 here. Good shot there. Katyusha moving up. Big one's about to get wiped out. Yeah, at this point, I think it's safe to say GG. It is a loss here for Basset, a victory for Prabuty. He fears back and forth fight here. In the end, I think Basset got perhaps a bit too comfortable versus Prabuty, but also crucially, just these times to extend it, he can have enough in reserve or anything to defend there. So Prabuty is able to slice through, get several critical wipes in, particularly on the field guns. Without the field guns, Basset became significantly weaker there, and Prabuty knew that and exploited that, I think, quite effectively there. So, you know. Well, in some regards, I don't think what Basset was trying to do was a smart move. The way he did it, the execution, I think, was what was lacking there. So, try and keep that in mind when you try to do something similar, like, you know, could your opponent rush you down and actually punish you for it. So, I hope you enjoyed this match. You learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't your enemies. This is Imperial Links and Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.